All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Refresh Point. I'm joined again with Connor and Julian. This episode came kind of sooner than normal just because we have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. It probably won't happen again, especially heading forward. This just kind of worked out that we have two sets to talk about in English and Japanese releasing, and then also Houston Regional, which I just came back from. And then we just have more data for this year's WGP for North America. Anything you guys want to talk about in the beginning? Any intros? Anything you want to shed out before we start getting into this?
Run.
All right. So, like normal, we'll start off with mostly English stuff and then just move into Japanese towards the end of the podcast. So we're going to be talking first about the English regional at Houston. Do you guys know if the deck lists are out? I didn't check before we started.
I can check right now.
Do not believe so. I'm checking right now.
Confirming, deck lists are not up.
All right. Thank you, Bushiroad. Well, I kind of know from memory what the top 3 decks were already, or at least their lists, so that shouldn't be a problem. After that, we'll talk about Attack on Titan 2. It just came out in Japanese and English. It comes out this Friday, but people have already started messing around with stuff, and people who got it early have already started posting stuff. So we basically have the entire list out already. And then we're going to talk about, after that, moving to Japanese, we're going to talk about early thoughts on Symphogear as well. That just released. It's been out for less than a week. And after that, we'll get into all the data with Connor for North American WGP. So, yeah, Houston. For those that don't know, first place was TLR, and then second and third were both Bang Dream decks. Surprising to you guys, or what do you think?
Yes, surprising. I think Bang Dream had like a relatively good showing in the spring, even though it was like just a trial deck for Texas. So it doesn't really surprise me that a lot of people were playing it, or at least like that a lot of good players were playing it. But second, third, and fourth is a little unexpected. And they were all like different. They weren't just the same build either.
Yeah. Second and third were like pretty similar builds, kinda, but the general skeleton's there for those two, but they definitely had different ideas going into it. One was like the pure Japanese list with the events and everything, and the other one, which I did lose to in round 5, who's a really good player who actually knocked me out of getting into top 16 last year of the Japanese WGP in New York. He had a really, really interesting list, which I really liked. I don't think I've seen this on Twitter for Japanese or anything like that. I don't know if you guys have, but his list was Blue Gate for the Tay level 3 and Standby Trigger. Do any Japanese that play the 8K wall build ever run something like that? Do you guys know?
Usually if you see the standby, it's either with the gold bars or the pants for the Brainstorm 5. I don't think I've ever seen it with the Taya Climax.
Neither have I. It was a really interesting build.
It does sound neat. Like, was he still playing the event to summon the Taya?
No, he was not
No?
playing the event. What he was doing was
like slamming it down with the standby.
Pretty much. It was pretty cool. I like his build a lot. This guy, what was his name again? He's a Korean player. Let me see. Let me open up Facebook here. I just added him on Facebook because we seen each other so many times now. Might as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess, was he just playing the blue search Brainstorm?
No. Well, he's playing the AK wall build, so he wasn't playing that.
Oh, that's right. Draw Brainstorm.
Yeah, draw from the trial deck.
Oh, that makes sense.
Where is he on here? Dang, too many people talking to me on Facebook, I guess.
I'm curious as to whether there was like a lot of sword art at the event, because I feel like I mean, okay, so the 8K wall build is probably what, like 85 pre-counter? Maybe you do just get out of sword art range.
No, usually the build at most is 8.5 in 2 lanes, but
Yeah.
most likely it's just an 8K wall.
So you're losing like 2 lanes to sword art probably.
Yeah, his name is Hyung Gun. I'm bad at Korean, but yeah, if anyone know him, shout out to him. He's a really good player. I like totally respect all his decision making. I didn't think he made any mistakes in our match at all, which was yeah, it was a really intense match. You know, like he even expected that we were gonna play each other again in top 8, but nah, I got screwed anyway, so it's all good.
He was the second place.
Yeah, second place. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised he didn't win it because when I saw the placing order, because I skipped out after top 4 started playing each other. At that point I assumed he was probably going to win because he's just a really good player, honestly, and I really liked his build. So I thought, and against TLR, if he ends up playing against TLR, I think that matchup's more in his favor than TLR. But when I talked to him after the event, he said he just, like, for the standby triggers, he just never had anything good in waiting room when he triggered them or played them from hand. So kind of sucks.
Huh. Was he playing the 2-2? Like, it's like a 2-2-65 that gains like 1,000 for every other music character. No.
So basically,
that's an awesome standby target.
So basically, this is his build is around the Tay level 3 and standby, but use the skeleton for the 8K wall. He gets rid of all the events. Normally, the blue build has the 1-0 event where that girl's crying in the bathroom or whatever, or they play like the Tay level 3 with the event. He doesn't run any of that, at least from what I remember seeing from his deck. What he does is he summons the Tay level 3 if he triggers it or plays the climax into the back row. The same turn he plays the change into the 3-2 Yukata level 3 that heals the stock. And then on his opponent's attack step, he pays the 1 stock to swap places because it doesn't have to swap with a card in the front row. It just has to swap with a music character. So then when you start attacking into him after he's played out his early level 3s, he has the Tay level 3 out, and he starts getting advantages off of that, and then he moves the other level 3 back up the next turn, which I thought was really interesting. At least that's what happened in our match, so I assume most of the games he was kind of looking for that scenario to happen.
Right. What are his, like, standby targets at level 1, though?
I don't think he really had any standby targets at level 1, but he... In our game, he double trigger standby at 0 on the first turn and had 5 cards on field, and 2 of them being level 1. I was ready to kill myself. Like, one of them being, he got the Brainstormer right at the start of the game, and then he standby triggered into the 1-0 stock charge. So I couldn't run things into it because he'll just get free stock.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That opening of his was like pretty ridiculous. And then after his like first turn, he was like basically out 4 or 5. So I had a risky play of just playing one of the climaxes in my hand with a full field to see if I can get a bunch of damage in to try to stay even or ahead. And he canceled like 2 of them. So I was like really, really sad times for me. But it was a really good game. And then, yeah. But that was basically his deck for the most part. I can't wait to see that actual list when it gets posted. I probably should have asked him for a picture of his deck or something before we start recording this. But yeah.
Interesting. No green Bang Dream is interesting, considering that was the highest placing Bang Dream in Indy.
Yeah, I think I saw
I feel like nobody's
playing
like playing green. Yeah.
I saw like one person, that was it. Is Julian still alive? You know,
I'm still here.
Okay, I've been talking so much, so. But yeah, anything surprising from you, Julian, about Houston?
Not particularly. Like you said, Bang Dream had a decent amount of placing in spring, so it's probably like the same players wanted to play something that's not like Sword Art, TLR, Attack on Titan. They're just piloting Bang Dream up until top 8, so I think it's not unreasonable to see that set get 2, 3, and 4. Just because I feel like a lot of players are kind of tired of playing the same deck over and over in every regional.
Yeah, I think with that version of the deck too, the 8K wall deck, the floor on that deck is really, really high. And the top end isn't as high, the ceiling. So it kind of gets you through Swiss easier.
I mean, I feel like it's probably just like a better version of Kantai minus the anti-heal right now. Like, or at least like the blue Kantai.
Yeah.
Because like your walls actually live to some things right now, and your top end is fine, like comparatively. And you lose out on anti-heal, but your level 0 tools in general are actually probably better. Yeah, I feel like I'd play Bang Dream over like Taige right now.
Yeah, Bang Dream was a set I was actually considering playing in English, but I kind of fell into the Sword Art Online deck because I just had the cards here after selling Re-Edit. So I was like, I'm not going to spend more money when I probably have the best deck to choose in the tournament anyway.
Right. Also, hey, Run won again. Yay. Can we talk about how Run is better than not Run?
The best ever.
It is specifically better against walls as well, which Bang Dream is.
Is it better than against walls?
I think so. Like, if you're just running,
It can sustain its field better, I guess.
Yeah, Run. It can crash into something and still have a character, or it can, like get run over and still have a character. It's kind of just better against anything that wipes board.
I was a bigger fan of like the post refresh compression you can get from not having to spend the stock, but like I did play Run, and like it does just sustain forever since a pretty decent value card. So it just depends on what you prefer. I guess against like the wall decks, you take less damage because you just basically always have a character on board, no matter if your characters get killed or not, no matter if you have the crashing. So.
Right.
Yeah, so anything else about Houston, guys, you can think of you want to talk about? Otherwise, I guess we'll just move into these new sets.
They finally ran the correct number of Swiss rounds.
Oh, I know. That was one thing, too. Actually,
didn't X1 still not get in?
One X1 missed.
Yeah.
It's because they were... Like, the number of players they had was really, really close to what would bump it to 8 rounds. But it was still low enough to be 7. So, like, it probably depended on, like, pair-up, pair-downs, whether an X1 missed or not. And, I mean, I think that's fine. Like, they ran 120, however many players
it was 126.
Yeah, that's a 7-round. 128 plus is for 8. So... I mean, they ran the right number.
The one that when X and 1 didn't make top cut was another TLR player too, Max Rarity deck. He actually forgot his deck at one point, and Clinton and I had it, and we're like, wait, whose deck is this? And then he came back and got it. Almost had a free trip to Japan there, guys. $1,200 deck.
I do think so this was basically the same exact number of players, like 3 players different from Texas in the spring, with a 2-round difference.
Yeah, the spring one totally got screwed.
Oh, why couldn't I have been at like this one?
Yeah, man, I wish you made it out. You probably would have made top 8 easily. Yeah. Oh, but I guess shout out to Bushiroad and the staff there. The event ran pretty smooth. I don't think there was any problems, no repairs, anything like that. There were correct number of rounds and everything like that. And I don't think I heard of any bad judge calls either, unless you guys heard of anything on Facebook or something someone posted.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, it was just a solid event then, I guess, for English Weiss finally, I guess.
Let's keep it up in the future.
On a side note, I guess before we move on, this is the first time in any card game I played at a higher level tournament where I gave someone a game loss to a judge call, and then it happened 2 rounds in a row, which was pretty funny. I know Julian and I were talking about it earlier, but I don't think you heard Connor. The best one was round 3. I was using Yuki's effect, and my opponent started taking damage. And I told him, give me a second, let me finish Yuki's effect, and then continue the damage. And he's like, oh, okay. And then while I was searching for cards from the effect out of my deck, the guy shuffled the damage back into his deck. Like, I have no idea what that guy was really thinking.
That's okay.
I had to ask him if he put the damage back on top of his deck or he shuffled his deck, and he said shuffle, so I had to call a judge at that point.
Man.
It was like pretty ridiculous. But round 2 also, I called judge on my opponent there. I was actually not expecting him to get a game loss from this, but I guess they were just kind of harsher on the rules here for this one. He played the Lifa level 3. I was in the Sal Mir match, and he declared 5 or whatever when he played the Lifa, and then picked up 5 cards from the top of his deck, but he only had 4 characters. And so I called the judge and figured the judge was just make him put the 1 card back, because he left the cards in the same order, and shuffle his deck or whatever, right? Just to get through the rounds or whatever without giving someone a game loss. Yeah. Nah, the judge was just like, you revealed information that you shouldn't have known. It affects the entire like outcome of the attacks and everything. This game, I'm giving you a game loss. And I was like, God damn.
That seems extraordinarily harsh. Like,
yeah, I think that was.
I'm pretty sure floor rules don't call for that. Like,
yeah, that was pretty harsh. But I don't mind since I won the game. But
yeah, I mean, like we take those, but that. I'm pretty sure that is not what the floor rules say happens there.
Yeah, but I wish I got this guy's name. But shout out to that guy too if he ends up watching this. He took it like a champ though. Didn't phase him. We finished our game after that, even though I already got the game win from the judge call. And then he's a good guy.
He won the game after you finished.
Well, he did, because I was basically dead unless I like triple canceled or double canceled. And, I died. Or, no, I died to clock kick. Yeah, so I had to triple cancel and then block the clock to avoid dying from his Lifa. But, yeah. And then, is there anything else interesting? I guess not really. I only played 1 Sword Art online there, which was that player in round 2. So I'm interested to see what the representation was like for Sword Art. When I was walking around earlier in the day, there was a lot of people like sleeving up Sword Art, but I don't know if everyone played Sword Art. By the end of the day, I feel like there was not that many Sword Art in like the top tables.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at the lack of Sword Art, but I don't know. Maybe people are like, I don't know why people would like not be playing Sword Art right now. Like, I get the whole, like, I don't want to be on Sword Art because hype, but it's also putting up the results.
Yeah, like, it's really tough for me because I basically consider Sword Art Online in English the all-around best deck just to take into a blind tournament without knowing the true meta breakdown. But at the same time, the playstyle of the deck I do not really like. I usually like playing decks that like compress a lot. And that's how I focus my wins on like cheesing cancels and shit like that and having a decent top end. Whereas Sword Art, every turn you're just like spinning stock basically to filter your deck, filter your hand, and then kill them out with Xenon level 3s.
So the thing about Sword Art is like you don't feel like you're compressed, but if you do like a double Yuki post refresh, it's the same as if like you didn't spend any of that stock. Like the amount of compression. So that's four cards you're pulling out of the deck. If you did double Yuki before refresh and double Yuki after, I mean, you spent 2 stock pre-refresh that would have been in your post-refresh, and then you spent 2 more afterwards. But afterwards it doesn't really matter. But you pulled 4 cards out of you, so like you don't feel refreshed because you don't visually get to see it, or you don't feel compressed because you don't get to visually see it. But you typically are pretty compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. it just feels so weird to me playing that deck, especially since I like don't really play Sword Art ever. So it's interesting.
Feels so good. Like you just don't care what your opponent's playing. You just sit down and you slam Yukis and then you slam Xenons and then
It is a game of solitaire.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it basically was like even in the mirror match. Which reminded me for some reason, you know what might have helped all the Bang Dream players too, because I remember, and what was his name again? Young Gun. When I was talking to him, I think he said he played like literally like 3 or 4 Sword Art players before top 8 or whatever. And one thing, the running level 3 is really annoying if you don't play the counter in Sword Art. That's really bad for killing level 3s because he can just run away from your 2/1 Xenon.
I actually do put one copy of the counter in just in case.
Yeah, I had that in like my deck box just in case if I want to switch it out in the end, but then I just decided against it. So
Actually, I think in my current Sword Art deck, I actually have 2 of the Xenons and 1 of the counter just in case. It's a bit aggressive, but
The Xenon is super good. Like I feel like I'd almost play 2 of the Xenon even without the anti-level 3 ability. But like the counter, I'm not playing it right now because I don't think English has early plays that threaten me enough. Going forward, I could see adding it, but
I think it's a consideration if Bang Dream gets semi-popular and people are like playing the running level 3 into like other level 3s with standby and stuff like that. Because the second that happened with the tail level 3 against me, I was like, man, I wish I had this counter now because like there was nothing I could do against this level 3. It just stood there. It stayed there for like 4 or 5 turns till I died.
yeah.
oh, so my restrictions on using it are basically if I'm at stock threshold to do like double Xenon, and then the attack that I'm going to if I'm going to be anti-changing and I feel like that'll prevent me from leveling up, I'll go ahead and use the counter, have an extra turn, build up the 3 stock again, and prevent like a couple damage from sticking. It's basically my threshold for it. That's why like it hits your hand a bit, but like it's not too bad typically.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, we're kind of running a little long on talking about
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah.
Let's just get into not Sword Art, Attack on Titan. So, what do you guys think of the set so far? Basically, the entire list is out there.
Best flavor text in English, Weiss.
What is it?
Like all of them. I wish you had card images to put up on the screen right now.
I do not. I mean, by the time this comes out, well, I don't know. I mean, the list should be out. Like, people can find it.
Overall, I
Give
think
me
it's just.
1 second. Go ahead.
I was gonna say overall, I think it's pretty solid. I haven't seen all of the level 0 utility yet, like what it has access to, just because I just haven't seen some of the like people's what they've posted. But like for what I know of, like that does exist, it is, I think at least in JP, a pretty good denial set for like against a lot of the popular decks out there. Any of the decks that need reverses, like I know a lot of them don't need reverses, but for the decks that do, that's just like a nightmare matchup if you get like a decent hand, and then a very burn 2 or burn 1 twice top in that you can give hexproof to, so like can win some matchups just off of that. And so the only weakness that I know so far of, because I don't know what all the utility it got, is its consistency getting out of 0 outside of just having access to the runner. That has runner. I know they previously had the salvage Riki, which I've never been a fan of. They have the tap self search brainstorm from the previous. I don't know what new cards it got at level 0. So
Barely anything. It got another runner and another brainstorm.
It's a beater runner, though, man.
So you just play like 6 runners and like 5 brainstorms and like salvage Rikis.
Yeah, this flavor text is pretty good.
Dude, it's like,
Let me
man,
see if I can get
it's
this
the
on
best.
screen.
But okay, so the deck is in JP. I don't know what it's gonna do. Like, I think it's gonna be fairly good at least. Like, I have no doubt about that. Like,
I guess I can't.
It denies
screen.
reverse
Sorry,
stuff.
guys.
It pluses very well. It
pluses super well.
like
It's
early play field swap that heals is never not going to be good. Yeah, it just does things. In English, I think the deck is insane. Like,
Really, I was talking about this over with Clinton, if you guys know him from Chicago.
yeah.
He feels like I'm kind of in the same boat as him. I feel like the set doesn't do enough to make the set much better, especially the top end is kind of like, at least we're talking about in English.
The top end is a slightly restricted Gochiusa, which is like arguably one of the best top ends in the game.
you also don't have like nearly as many stat counters to deal with for people
You-
like denying the on-verse.
Yes, you also don't need the climax for the second burn. You can do the second burn on either player's turn. And you don't need any stock to do one burn with the combo. The combo is just like, and it has no discards compared to Gochiusa, which does. So it's like incredibly light on the hand, not even very heavy on stock, and just has like an insane ceiling for your top end.
And it
kinda
has the
gets a-
tools to deal with most matchups because you can give it, obviously, you can give it the hexproof to deal with the TLR matchup.
Yeah, your hexproof, the field swap can prevent your opponent from crashing characters to leave you reverse targets, because you can just field swap your brainstorm or whatever in. Like, it's crazy. It's like,
This might
it's
be
really good. I don't think it's like broken or anything, but it's like it's really good.
I think the only thing is its Sword Art matchup. It's still because
Well-
again, Sword Art's the solitaire deck, so
I don't think it actually has any. So, what makes Sword Art so good against a lot of decks is that no matter what the opponent does, Sword Art will always just slam down its characters, kill the opponent's board, and now the opponent has to replace their characters. So if the deck
I guess it
can't
doesn't have
plus, if the deck can't plus faster than Sword Art kills its characters, you kind of just lose. Whereas
Yeah.
AoT, Sword Art's never killing your characters because they're always
you're
just
getting
bouncing back to your hand or moving out of the way. And
Yeah.
then you're killing theirs in response. So you're plussing harder than Sword Art and pushing just as much damage. And your top end is actually pretty good against Sword Art because Sword Art compresses through Yuki, and your top end is burn one, which is really good against Sword Art. You also deny clock
it does.
kick.
yeah.
I guess it does win that matchup.
What about
I don't know. I don't know if it straight out wins the matchup, but I think it's like,
It's favored.
I think it's better than people give it credit for.
Well, you think it's like 6-4 matchup or like 5.5 to 4.5?
I'd go 5-5 to 4-5.
Yeah, 5-5-5.
Oh, okay. But at least from what my understanding of Attack on Titan, and I like never played the set, never really played against the set except one time in an English event. So I'm not really familiar with how the set, how it builds up so much stock and stuff like that to make its level 3 game that scary basically. And then we're running the split 2K1, right? It's not a stock soul, right?
It is a split 2K1. Unfortunately, not a standby because that would have been
Oh.
actually insane.
I wish. Did the set even get a standby?
Nope.
Dang, disappointing.
I hate you, Bushiroad.
Yeah, I'm always looking to abuse standby. I think that trigger is like slowly going to become like really broken in the future.
No, like a large portion of the deck just doesn't really cost anything. Like your errands are a hard +2 for 0 stock. So like
Do you have to reverse something with the errands? I forget.
you do have to reverse.
Yes and no.
You're
You have
like
to reverse for you have to reverse for the bounce back? I thought you just need the climax bounce.
No, you have to reverse. It's on reverse. You salvage
Gains
an
the ability?
ability and gain an ability, and the ability is
Okay.
when you're frontal attacked. You bounce back to hand.
So the mirror match is cancer, is what you're saying.
The mirror match comes down to if one person resolves 2 errands, they probably win the game.
So basically, whoever hits one first. So you're telling me to play the salvage Ricky.
But if you're playing like runner and
Yeah,
you're
if you're
just playing
playing runners, you can
conservatively,
actually go to level 1, crash stuff, and the runner can get you to where like your opponent has to field like characters, and then
Okay,
you get
yeah.
there, and then like I think it's gonna be a really skill intensive mirror match.
Interesting. Maybe I'll build it and try it out this weekend or something.
But like that same scenario of like the errands against each other, like you shut down to love root on reverse combo, you stop yellow yellow Kantai on reverse combo, which a lot of people are switching back to. You stop. I don't even know what else is on reverse right now. You stop like every new AoT combo. You stop Tai Bang Dream combo? Question mark.
The level 3?
No, the level 1.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Um,
I thought it was just like on whatever. It may be
the tie is on reverse. The
Okay,
costume is
yeah.
not. I don't think Sword Art has any on reverse combos right now. Yeah,
I mean, it does. It's no plays.
Yeah, you stop everything that's on reverse, and you also just probably plus by field against everything else. I can see you struggling against like super dedicated wall decks, but that's
So what you're
about it.
telling me is play Simple Voice.
Yeah, I think you probably lose Soundless Voice.
What about Bang
But
Dream?
like I don't know, maybe not though, because like as soon as you hit level 2, the Mikasa comes down and just starts like killing things.
Which Mikasa? Is it a new one or the?
No, the field swap.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Like as soon as you hit level 2, that's probably coming down and just destroying everything. Like no deck can respond to that right now. I don't think. Like, nothing can effectively respond to it.
So I can if it's anti-change, like choose to play the counter. Kantai can if it's anti-change.
But I mean, like
choose-
you can't. It's not even easy.
you can't
to
efficiently deal with it.
The thing, like, because if Mikasa on defense, it's a field swap, so it's going to win its lane. So you're going to win at least one lane as the AoT player, which gives you direct attacks that they can't anti-change counter in. So it's like, and they can't use like anti-change bombs to deal with it because then you just field swap out of the way.
That is a difficult card to deal with.
Yeah, like again, I'm probably making it sound like way better than it actually is. Like it's not broken or anything, but the deck is going to be super good. Like top 3 at worst.
Well, top 3 at worst. Dang.
I think it could be number. I think it could be number 1. Could. I'm not quite sure if it's going to throw Sword Art out of number 1, but
Well, by time it takes over Sword Art gets a new booster and tells
Exactly.
it to screw off. So
exactly. But like that could do nothing. That could do a lot. It could do nothing.
yeah,
What can it even give?
Huh?
I'm trying to think. What can it even give? Like that's
Dude,
all. They
Ricky.
already technically have a Riki though, so like I feel like
Well,
they're
no,
not going to
like
give him another
actual
one.
Ricky. Like actual Ricky would be so much better than Ideal Self.
Yes, but I don't because they have Ideal Self. I don't think they're going to give them actual Riki.
Oh, until that's a rewrite. Rewrite has a deal self and Ricky.
Rewrite has Ideal Self, Ricky, and Salvage Ricky.
So good.
So I mean, I think it's possible. I don't know that they want to give Sword Art Ricky, but like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's-
they could, and it could be like limited to certain characters or something like that. Because I don't know crap about the Sword Art Online like lore of characters, so I don't know what's going on in the movie. But they could like make a movie only specific deck, kinda.
yeah. But until then, I think AoT is muy bueno. Like, I'm gonna play it. Seems awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot since I never played the original Attack on Titan. I'm just kind of going off of what I kind of understood of the cards in the deck already. I gotta test it out too to see how it is. It does sound really interesting though, especially for the English meta. So one other thing, are you gonna play 3-1 of the counter or?
Okay, I think that's going to take a lot of testing. A lot of people are saying that the 1-0 is much better. I think the 1-0 being costless is awesome, but I think the 1-1 is way better at actually protecting your characters.
I'm kind of in the field where you want the 1-0 in your first refresh, and then after that you just want the 1-1.
The 1-0... Okay, so Aaron combo is a +2, because it gets you himself and the maneuver gear. Yeah. Maneuver gear itself is a -1, which turns your Aaron back into only a +1. So, I think it's very important. You only effectively keep the +2 if your maneuver gear saves a character. The 1-1 will always save a character. The 1-0 will probably only save a character if you have an empty back row slot. And against a lot of decks, I don't think you can afford to have an empty back row slot.
So it depends on what you're running for your back row. One card I wanted to test using was probably holding the Brainstorm in hand until I actually needed it, and using probably 2 copies of the 1-0 Aaron from the first set. That's global 1K on offense with tap to get 500.
I think you have. I think you have to play that global. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like. The idea was that I just hold the Brainstormer because I probably won't need the 1,000 power of the center if I have that global out in play, and that would leave you with a back row slot open. Otherwise, if that doesn't work out, then you probably just need to play the.
Yeah, and I don't think you never need 2 of the global on board, but like 1 of the global. You do need to get over a lot of things. Like, without the global, Mekon plus counter is bigger than you. Rune plus counter is bigger than you. Shimakaze plus counter might be bigger than you. Which seems really weird.
That's only getting really? 7.
Vernie and Vernie and Taige will definitely be bigger than you without the global.
Shimakaze's only going to hit 7K with counter.
It hits
8. Is it 8?
8 with counter. 5K base, 55 from Hatsukaze, and then 2/5 counter. Puts it at 8.
Oh yeah, they do have the 1/1 counter.
If you leave an empty back row slot, you are 45 on it. Climax makes you 55 on attack. You go up to, you gain plus 15, so you go up to like 7. So yeah, you're not even killing Shimakaze with counter unless you play the global. So you pretty much have to have, unless you're doing what you say and just leave the Brainstorm slot open.
I just hold Brainstorm until I need it.
Yeah, I think you have to have the global on board. So unless the Brainstorm slot's open, you have 2 back row. Meaning the 1-0 event probably isn't saving a character. Because all they have to do is attack the character you're going to save first. You play the counter and move it, and they just kill it in the slot that it moved to. Like, that doesn't seem hard to do at all.
Dude, does the normal Attack on Titan build, does it run red? Can't you run, isn't there a 1-0 bomb that's pretty decent? It's also a runner for some reason.
There is a runner bomb. The timing's awful because your board isn't empty until after runner timing. So you can't even effectively run in the deck. If you do play the moved counter to move it, sure. If you crash it on offense, it doesn't really do anything.
Well, it opens up that slot, right?
It's just a bomb. Yeah, it opens up that slot, but that doesn't really...
They just attack the slot that...
Yeah, then they just attack the
first.
You're gonna save. Yeah, they move...
And then you run to the slot.
Open slot, and they kill it there. It's like the bomb doesn't really actually help anything. It's just a bomb. Which, I mean, that could help things in and of itself, but it doesn't help the maneuver gear scenario.
Okay.
So, I'm going to test with it a lot. I'm probably going to start at 3 1-1s and 1-1-0. I'll probably end up on 2 and 2.
I was planning on testing 2 and 2 as well.
I think the 1-1 is. I think the 1-1 is especially higher priority if you're playing the 1-0 Armin, because it lets you reuse Rize effect.
Yeah, that's basically what my plan was, to try to limit red and play the 1-0 Armin.
Yeah, I think milling out your deck is pretty good in AoT.
Because the biggest issue is you got to get the events into waiting room to salvage initially. So you're going to need some sort of decent mill.
Getting one into waiting room is fairly
It shouldn't be too difficult, but...
Because, like, if you open with it, you just clock it.
Like, ideally, you kind of want, like, 2, so like, if you can get double combo.
Yeah, you do want to. So Brainstorms and the 1-0 Armin can get you there.
All right. Any last minute thoughts on Attack on Titan before we move on?
Girl.
He is correct.
Wait, what'd you say?
Krista, best girl.
All right. All right, give me a minute. I gotta grab something really quick, and then we'll get into Symphogear.
So, while he's grabbing something, I'm going to talk about how Symphogear does not want to be a set, because Tsubasa's Brainstorm works in, like, actually every deck except the Tsubasa one. Like, thanks? Question mark? That deck would be really good if it could play the Brainstorm that has its character in name. I mean, I guess you can anyway, you just don't get to salvage with your doors.
I thought that was hilarious. That I think, like, every combo, but, like, the Hibiki one is, like, salvage based.
And I'm pretty sure they didn't even give Kanade a Brainstorm. So, like, you actually just have no on-name Brainstorm except for, like, a draw Brainstorm.
All right, I'm back. Wait, what's going on?
I'm talking about how terrible synergy in Symphogear is with the Tsubasa Brainstorm.
Wait, which Tsubasa Brainstorm?
The anti-salvage.
The Hibiki Tsubasa one.
Yeah. Are you as upset about that as I am?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine, because I was planning on playing Hibiki anyway.
I think the Tsubasa Kanade, the Zweiwing deck, like, I think that deck's awesome. It just can't play its Brainstorm. Like,
yeah, it's kind of upsetting that deck can't play that Brainstorm.
The rest of the deck is so solid. The top end is a little iffy, but the rest of the deck is so solid. You even just get to, like, heal loop with Amino Habakiri. You early play the 3-2 Tsubasa with the combo, and then you just keep slamming the event, bouncing the early play Tsubasa back to hand and playing it right back down. Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like we're back in, like, was it 2014 when heal looping was the way to win?
13.
13, sorry. That was so long ago.
Like 2012, 2013. 2014, Kantai came along and ruined everything.
Oh yeah, ruined everything, and now we got this tri-fielding level 0 game and plussing like crazy.
Yeah.
Hey man, we had that short 6 months where, like, index was good.
Yeah,
True.
That's true. Yeah, so I'll finish my statement with, I think Maria build is, well, okay, not Maria build. I think that deck as a whole is terrible. I think Maria top end is the correct way to play.
We got kind of quiet there, but yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, other than the fact that Maria is best girl to me. I do enjoy slamming +2 soul at level 1, but yeah, like, her deck...
I don't agree with that.
Nah, screw you. But her deck is pretty lackluster except for kind of the top end stuff. think the right way to play the Maria top end in a good deck would be green red and use the Shirabe and Kirika wall along with the Chris Brainstorm, and then you just play the top end stuff of Maria.
That sounds super spicy. I didn't even think of the Karika Shirabe wall.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that sounds super spicy.
I've been thinking about this deck the entire time at Houston, and this is what I landed on. I was like, I really want to play green because I want the support from the set 2 or set 3, and it turns out I can play the promo Chris Climax, the stock from top deck, and the Chris Brainstorm. And
what is the New Billion Maiden?
It's split 2K1, which I don't give a crap about.
Oh, I think that's fine.
I think it's fine, but I think
it gets your reverses.
It does, but I mean when I'm already playing characters that are 8K plus on the field, I feel like that should beat most things anyway, and I can only plus in one lane anyway, unless I play double Chris.
Double Brainstorm.
Yeah.
No.
I mean that's always a possibility, but I think in some matchups you need to run like the 1-0 Chris support to give it +1 level, so you don't have to deal with like Sunshine, which for some reason is getting a lot of representation. But yeah, I think it's a really spicy deck, and I really want to play that deck, so I'm trying to look for the climaxes now. I know I have like 2 or 3 of the climaxes in California, but I have no one there to send them to me, so I'm just going to buy another playset. That, and I got my 4 Maria signs, so I have to play the deck now. And then, yeah, I really like the level 0 Maria bomb too. Isn't that just a reprint of Gochiyusa bomb?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like mill 2 if you hit a climax, gain 3k. So you can kind of like plus
2
off
for
of
1.
it. Yeah.
Seems okay. I don't know if I'd play it, but I don't know what all options we have right now. I haven't really looked at the set too in depth.
Oh.
You kind of need that mill. Get more salvage target.
Yeah. And then also, what's really nice is if you play the Chris Brainstorm, you can play the 1-2 salvage event, which is super good in red. I probably only play like 1 or 2 at most. But it's if you have a Chris or Maria on the field, you can play this card. It's just pay 2, salvage 2 at 1.
It has a lot better timing than the 2-2 variant, though. Enough to play the 2-2s and English kill a kill, and like sometimes you just hit level 2 right after refresh, and you just want to cry because that was the only way to sustain hand effectively in that deck. Do not play English kill a kill. Do not recommend.
Yeah, I think deck will end up being fine. I don't think it's going to be like super high tier or anything.
I think mono yellow is actually extremely solid deck. I really like its soul manipulation on the top end.
I probably agree. I think mono yellow does neat things. I think you miss cards that you wish you could play in it.
Yeah, I think Japan's kind of on the mono yellow build right now too. Everyone's like all over that. I keep seeing lists for that posted up.
Yeah, they're on mono yellow and alchemy.
Yeah, well, alchemy like builds itself, so I figured we're gonna see alchemy occasionally early on, and probably steer away from that.
Wasn't alchemy the only topping like Symphogear deck previously?
Yeah, like triple the price of alchemy.
For the most part, yeah. Alchemy also has that sweet anti-music tech.
Oh yeah, so depending
just to like beat out Love Live Sunshine and Cinderella Girls and like literally every deck in the game.
So this was my plan because I'm going to play green anyway. Looking at what qualifies, if there's a lot of music trait characters, I was just going to slam 3 of the 3/5 alchemy beater into my deck because even though it's off trait, it doesn't really affect anything. So if I open up with it, they open up with runner, I just kill the runner instantly and plus like 2 for 1 them off of a 3/5. Like that's whatever, I'll level up later for green. I think it's like honestly it's like one of the most like spicy like cards in this set. Like when I saw that card, I was just like, oh, this is so good. Was there another downside to it though? Did it have to have like 1 damage in clock or less? You can't attack.
It's some clock requirement to it.
Let me see. I have it open up
I
right
think
here.
I think you do have to have a certain number of clocks.
Oh yeah, if your clock is 1 or less, this card can't attack.
So it can't attack turn 1, but you're not playing that turn 1 unless it's the only thing you open.
Yeah.
If you cancel, if your opponent plays and you cancel, you might get sad because then you can't play it.
This is true.
But hey, whatever. Just field it in the back row or something.
Yeah, I mean, even though
Or
like,
field it in the front row and play something else to attack with.
yeah, it's like 100% a meta call anyway. I think you just end up playing runner over it instead if you're not looking to screw out all the other idle decks.
There's so many idle decks in my locals, though. So many.
Yeah, you should just play 4 copies of it and make everyone mad for a while.
Just play it until they stop playing idle decks.
Yeah, that'll teach them.
And the best part is that that card itself is alchemy and music. Like,
Wait, no, it's only alchemy. There's no music trait.
Is it only alchemy?
Yeah, even though they're singing on the card.
It's the one with Carol and Elf9.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was the one with the Shirabe on it. Sad face. Man, they couldn't give us everything.
I know. We can talk about the actual most spicy thing in the set is level 3 Chris at level 1.
Yeah, level 3 Chris at level 1 is neat.
I think that's pretty hilarious. You just summon the GX Chris, and then if they can't get rid of it, you just like plus for so long off of that card, top checking every time you take damage to cancel more. You don't care because you have a level 3 that with 3 soul. It has 3 soul, right? So
yes, it has 3 soul. It's 11k 3 soul.
Yeah.
It forces you to run the yellow ignite module. If you want to
actually, okay.
If you want to survive the turn afterwards.
What is the time?
Not the turn it comes out, but the turn afterwards.
What is the
it's
timing
beginning
for
of
it dying?
Beginning of Encore step, and the change is beginning of Encore step. So it dodges the timing the first time.
Yeah. So here's what you do: you standby out the change, you go into the GX 3-2, and then you Ichivol it into the new 3-2.
Please, no, this is too spicy. It burns. Oh my god.
And then you like burn 3 or whatever the new one does.
And it has -1 soul.
Yes.
And has like color red encore, so you're set.
The only issue with that plan is that Ichiball requires you to be at level 2.
Oh, unfortunate.
But like whatever, you just get hit to level 2 and then you Ichiball it into the new one.
I mean,
or if there's another good level 3 Chris, I don't know. I feel
you
like
can with the Chris deck. I mean, we're not like for the mono deck for the most part. We're playing this. You just play the
like anything into anything else.
Yeah, you just.
It's stupid.
I mean, if you're worried about that too, you can just play some amount of yellow to play the 1/1 ignite module that searches deck for a music character and goes to memory. So, like the following turn, you should have yellow in your clock by then, and you just play the event.
Yeah. I think you just play ignite module. I'm amazing over here.
Nah, let's just cut that card. You gotta dodge those on reverse effects, you know.
Wait, you could play blue and play the counter ignite.
Oh, this is too much for me.
Sweet.
Oh, I can't wait to lose to this deck.
Dude. Easy.
All right. Anything else interesting going on with Symphogear here?
I don't think so. Like, a lot of the cards were really just like, whatever. There were a couple of really good ones, but a lot of them were just like, not 27.
I want to playtest the spicy new plus combo they gave, or pseudo plus combo they gave Hibiki, where it's like on reverse you gain a marker, and then like beginning of your opponent's encore step, you can like, if it has a marker, you sack it and another character and change it to a 2/1 back row and a 2/1 front row, and then the 2/1 front row has another climax combo for like on climax placement search, and then it pumps your entire field of soul. And I think that's on like a shot trigger or something, so you're just swinging for 3.
Yeah, one of them's on a wind and the other one's on a shot. I don't remember which one is which. I think it seems okay. I think it's something worth testing, probably.
It's only a +1 because I think you have to dig hard for the total change, but I want to see if it's fun to play around with.
They did finally give the set a Ricky at level 1 though.
Not
Oh
good
yeah,
enough.
I did see that. Hey, but it has like a lot of characters in name. It's like Tsubasa, Kanade, and Maria.
Yeah, it has all 3 characters, and then I wish like this card could search for any music character instead.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, especially because it's at you already have the demerit of being at level 1. It'd be really cool too if if you use this effect, the card itself gains a +1 level, so you can kind of search out a music character, then use an event to switch it into a level 3. That would be kind of cool.
What's its power?
It's 4/5, but on attack you can give another music character 1k.
That's not good enough.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
I could see it as a 1-of or something in a deck for whatever reason, but not that great. I think nothing else worth really noting, right? I mean, Fine finally got a level 3, which I'm happy about. But outside of that, nothing really. What about the noise deck? You guys ready for all that stock?
I think noise is going to be really whatever. Really whatever.
All I know is that I lose the mirror match against the old noise cards, or no, the new noise. From GX, I lose the mirror match with my Railgun clone deck because I need my 1/0s to stay on the board, or else I can't do anything. It's a deck full of 42 clones and 8 clones. And I have an 80% win ratio with this deck for no apparent reason.
I guess one of the good PR cards to note too is the Hibiki level 0 PR card, and give another character plus 500 power times the number of other music characters, so it's like a 2k buff on play on a full field.
I think the PRs for the set were actually pretty good, all of them.
Yeah, they're all really solid. I think except Shirabe and Krika.
I don't know if any of them go in the deck, but none of them were just terrible.
Yeah, well, the Maria one could go into the Maria deck if you play what's her name, Serena at level 1, because you need things that are Maria. So you'd have to play that level 1 Maria bomb instead of the Chris one from GX. But yeah. Well, unless you have any closing thoughts, guys, I guess we'll move on to where are we here? The Japanese WGP stuff. I'm gonna take that as there's no closing thoughts.
No, nothing else.
All right, so this past weekend, how many did we have? We had 4.
There were 5 more events.
Dragon Girl TCG is the first one, right, from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, that's the first one.
All right, let me link you guys really quick if you need it. All right, and then as usual for everyone watching at home, I'll link it in the comments again or in the little information section below, and then you can just click on the link there and follow along. I don't really want to take pictures of this stuff. Maybe I'll try a little harder next week. So we have Dragon Girl TCG as the first one. Looks like they had 4 invites. Is this the one that had only 6 people show up?
6 players, 4 invites.
Nice.
Both Vivid Strikes missed invite.
Right there, guys. Vivid Strike, garbage tier. You should be playing whatever these other people are playing.
Vivid Strike still has one of the highest representation to invite ratios. I guess invite to representation. But yeah, these guys
I
didn't.
think all these decks are fairly.
Rewrite should be playing Ricky? Question mark.
Here,
Yeah,
we'll
I
go
guess
through
that's
really quick and just go one by one and see if there's anything you guys want to talk about. So I guess first place was Persona 5. This looks like more of like a list I would play in English meta more than Japanese meta, honestly. But yeah, they're playing Navi level 3, change into Fox. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think?
List seems super normal.
Yeah.
Pretty basic.
Let's see, Ryuji level 1, Pro Tag level 1 from TD. What is this 1-0? Oh yeah, the counter. What's this 1-1? Oh, 7K clock on core level 1 Futaba. Yeah, it's like super normal list. You guys can check it out there. Nothing worth noting really. I guess second place here we have Burn 2 PogChamp Rewrite. Pretty good deck name. Yeah, lack of Ricky's here.
He just went like all in on not playing anything besides Lucia and Shizuru. Like, no Salvage Brainstorm, no Rickies.
So I was gonna like say maybe he didn't just have any cards from the old set, but he has the Blitz Attack Shizuru, and I'm like kind of questioning why he has that. I guess it's an early play.
Oh wait, which one?
It is
Oh,
green.
Blitz Attack.
It is green experience.
No, it's not. It's 6 or more climaxes in waiting room. Lose one
No,
level.
it is a green card.
He's using it
zero
as an
level,
experienced fodder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're in there.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh yeah, this guy is not even playing Kotori. I didn't even realize that. Oh, he's playing the field wipe, isn't he?
Yes.
You maybe he got there through
I
field
mean-
wipes.
I remember right now I don't own any Kotoris, so like I'm playing the climax for Field Wipe, but I'm playing it because it's a gold bar, and not because it's the actual combo. It's just so a chance that I don't have a climax stop.
I mean, it makes your 2-1 Lucia's probably better, but it also can kind of just win you the game when you board wipe someone. Like,
Yeah, it's
there are so
it's a
many
one
matchups
more.
you lose when you board wipe them.
it's like a super one more effect.
I think at this late into the stage, though, I mean, you see the gold bar in the level 3. You should just prepare for a field wipe if it happens, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, what does that mean? Like, just not playing your characters?
Yeah, like preparing.
It also sounds not very good.
The only other option is not playing back row, but like you're typically going to need back row for like the previous stages of the game.
I mean, like, you wouldn't commit, like,
Yeah,
level 2
like-
supports and stuff like that until the field wipe happens, basically. Because, like,
Yeah,
I never played the field wipe build. Are people looking to field wipe at level 2? Or are they just waiting till later in the game to depower everything?
to my knowledge, most people aren't.
You normally
Usually, like,
don't field wipe. You only do it in matchups where it specifically just wins the game. Like, if you absolutely just have to blow stuff up to shut down your opponent's game plan, you go for it. Otherwise, you don't waste the resources.
You're
Because
usually
probably
just playing.
You're probably killing their front row anyway. So, like, you only do it when you need
You're
to clear
pretty-
out, like, Einhearts and stuff.
Yeah, problematic. You're usually only playing it because it's a sister for the 2-1 early play. That's only one stock effectively, and then you're playing the gold bar because it helps you prevent climaxes going to stock, so that you can compress better for your refresh.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess I just need to experiment more with blowing up people's fields. This is really sucks not having like weekly locals to go to, so I don't get a chance to really play test as much as I despise playing Skype matches. All right. Third place, Little Busters got there in a 6-man tournament, guys. With the Soul Plus 2, is that what I see down here?
Yep, that's the +2 soul.
Nice.
It got there. It got there.
He's running the 2-1 stock charge combo, right?
You should be.
Yep.
I think so, yeah. Build looks pretty normal.
Yep. Just
For the PR Brainstormer, we're in there, so...
play Solitaire until level 2, and then hope you build stock and draw your anti-damage.
Yeah, pretty much that. Just spend all your stock on anti-damage and early play level 3s and stuff, and have fun. This is one deck I was interested in always building, but I just can never justify spending the money on the Soul Plus 2s.
We have a Little Busters player here in Columbia. They spent the money.
Yeah, was it Melanie, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone else over there have it?
Have Little Busters? There are other people who have Little Busters, but it's not this build. It's like commons thrown together to make a deck.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a deck I wouldn't mind owning. I don't know that I could ever like bring myself to play it for like a big tournament though. I guess now with the Brainstorm, it's probably like super consistent though.
Yeah, I figure with the Brainstormer now, it's really, really consistent. That's about it. Like, I think it had some consistencies issues before, getting like the events to hand and things like that, but the draw 2 ditch 1 Brainstorm probably helps a shit ton. All right, let's move on to 4th place. Boring ass TLR again makes it in a field of 6. It does play this one of Wormhole event though.
This is the first time in a while I've seen anyone act in Wormhole.
Wormhole at 1 is actually terrible.
I feel like it should be like a 2 of, but
It should definitely, yeah, you either don't play it or play it at high enough to where you draw it when you need it. Like at 1,
it's you're
you
never going
can't
to see
guarantee
it.
you're going to have it when it matters.
Yeah, it's the type of card where like you see it early and you hold it if you know it's relevant in the match. But like no TLR list I ever see is like ever playing Wormhole.
Yeah, I think it's a card that should be played. But I think it should like don't play it at 1. Like if you're gonna put it at 1, like just don't play it.
What matchups are you looking for this card in?
Everything that early plays.
Basically everything that early plays.
Like,
It's
yeah, it just you get direct attacks and
you
bounce their early plays back. Seems fine. It doesn't really like completely shut anything down, but it does good
it
stuff.
just allows you to push damage and not have to crash against early plays.
Dude,
Since
Blue
early
Titans,
plays is this deck's biggest weakness.
Blue Titans, you body Kotori rewrite.
Ooh, this is true.
Yeah, like neg soul stuff really suffers.
And I feel like no matter how much time passes, this TLR just feels like it's always has answers to stuff, and it's like, a super consistent deck.
Yep. Rest of the deck looks normal. 2
Yeah.
copies of the 2/1 Maya. I'm a little iffy on, but yeah. Like I guess it does what it does.
All right, so let's move on to Dark Side Games
mean-
in Las Vegas. Or unless, wait, you had anything, Julian?
I was gonna say you probably could just replace the 2-1 Maya with the Wormhole.
That would probably be what you do. Oh, also, did it have any of the level 0 rune that like bounces back to hand?
I do not see any of the level 0 run that back the hand. That's when it's front attack. You can pay 1, bounce the hand, and then change it to the 1/0 that you're not going to run, right?
Yeah. I don't see that one in the list. That should probably be in there.
All right, Dark Side Games regional here. Do you have the stats for this one, Connor? How many people were in this one?
There were 4 players, 2 invites.
Nice.
Love
4
Live
players.
Sunshine, Love Live Sunshine, Love Live Sunshine, and a Vivid Strike that dropped. And one of the Love Live
Nice.
Sunshines failed deck check.
Even
So-
The first place Live Life Sunshine.
Yes, the first place failed deck check. So the only 2 people still eligible got the invites.
wait, this okay. I'm looking at the list here on Heart of the Cards. This is definitely wrong. He only had 4 climaxes. This first place deck. They must have
Dude,
screwed up
it
somewhere.
wouldn't be a first. Like they've posted 4 climax lists before.
Oh man.
We don't actually know because the only people who played, who qualified, were the only people left. So maybe he only has 4 left, 4 in his deck. Maybe that's just what he chose to play.
Oh man, so spicy.
But yeah,
Is there even worth commenting on this first list, not knowing if this is the actual list?
I mean,
Uh,
what other climax combo cards does he have? I assume he's playing Musashi.
I don't see. Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, Musashi's here.
Yeah, so he's probably either playing Wind or Door for his other climax.
It's probably if it's anything like the Japanese list, he's probably playing Door because he has 3 blue cards.
Well, there's a Wind with the same name.
Oh yeah, the yellow one. Yeah, that could be it also.
He's probably playing Door. Like,
Well, I mean, if you're going into this event and you know for a fact
feel
that you're playing 3 Love Lives or whatever, maybe you just play Win so you can bounce back their Yos or whatever.
I feel like I remember a conversation somewhere about this, and it was Doors.
Yeah, I expect it to be Doors, but yeah.
The guy posted his list somewhere. I just don't remember.
Second place though, I got the spicy +2 soul ruby combo.
Yeah, I like seeing that. I think that deck is definitely the way to play Sunshine. I don't know like nearly enough about Sunshine's card pool to know what it is and isn't missing, but
Sunshine basically has about most of the utility you want except for like Ricky's.
yeah, I just don't recognize like card names and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna click through everything on this list.
My real question is, how much did this inflate Love Live Sunshine in the statistics?
A lot. Like, a lot. It bumped it up from like nowhere to the like second most overperforming deck. It's like number 7 in most played, and tied for second in tops. So like,
Nice.
oops.
All right, let's see. We have this one at Essex Junction. Was it Bakuret's Con? Explosion Con? All right.
Yeah.
I guess they have 2 invites here. Do you know how many people were at this one, Connor?
Give me 1 second. This was Essex Junction, right?
Yeah.
8 players.
8 players, 2 invites. What is this? We have... Felt level 3.
All 8 were playing different decks.
Nice. So first place we have ReZero with the felt top in, which I like to see. Is there anything crazy here? We have the one of level 3 Reinhardt. Queen.
Playing
Suns.
the Beatrice? What is this?
2%.
I love Wonderverse. He's playing the Betty Love Wonderverse.
I know some Japanese lists play that, but not at 4. I feel like that might. Does he have red in the list?
Yeah, he has like 4 at 0 and 4 at 1. I don't know why he's playing the bomb.
Might be a metal call. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think two Priscilla counters is a bit out there. Like, I know most lists don't play 2 of that.
Yeah, I'm cool with 2, I guess. Easier to get, not having to use a level 0 bomb to get it back to your hand. Or, I guess, brainstorm for it. It's like, alright.
0 pucks.
0 pucks, is that right? Dang, there 0 pucks. This guy all in on early playing Rems then? Dang, you missed the combo at 1, you just get really sad. Is that what happens with this deck?
Absolutely.
Oh, I was playing one of the TD, the new TD Rem too. Yep. I guess it's pretty standard, I guess, right, for the blue, yellow, red.
Yeah, everything seems fairly normal, apart from the level 1 bombs.
All right, second place here. We got some Milky Homes finally.
Yeah, man, Milky Holmes. And I approve of the deck name.
What is it here? Booty Shorts Mordred. All right. What is this? Deck looks pretty standard from just quick looking over. There's only 2 Cordelia searchers though.
He's playing the Burn 4. Top end.
Oh yeah. I feel like most decks just play that in the restander for the top end anyway, and then
Probably. I feel like he's playing fewer witches than most people.
I don't know. I feel like most decks at this point just run 2 witches. Usually it's like 2, 2, 2, 1 or whatever. If you're playing the early play Nero and stuff like that, or like some decks play the early play Cheryl's. But I think the top end's for the most part super standard at this point.
Yeah.
Is there any of the new PR cards in here? I don't think I see any.
I don't think so.
The only one that people ever chose to play was like a 1/1, wasn't it?
Yeah, the green Ellie at 1, I think. It gets like absurdly big with a counter.
There's also the new level 3s from the Joke Booster, but I haven't really seen anyone playing those either.
Oh yeah, well one of them's in blue, like the good level 3 is in blue, and I don't think a lot of decks actually run enough blue, especially if they're not running 4 Cordelia searchers. But yeah.
You can literally swap cards in your level zone.
Yeah, that's true. I always forget that. It's been a while since I played Milky. I haven't played since the 3rd set came out or whatever, or the extra booster came out. That made the deck really, really good. I used to play this set a lot.
I'm sad. I wanted to buy the set, but the distributor for Card Academy lost the order, so we never got in the end. And I just gave up.
Unfortunate. Like when that set came out, it was around the time I was actually considering just stop playing card games, period. And here I am now. So I didn't even like order any at the time. But yeah, I guess that's it for Baccarat's Con in Essex Junction. Let's see, we got Battlegrounds, G and HAB. No deck list for first place, but playing Rewrite with the 1-0 PR, so clearly
I'm assuming the standard
Guardians.
list.
Yeah.
Rewrite and Kimono were the 2 most played decks at this event.
No wonder Rewrite got first.
Yeah, there were 22 players total at this one. There was also a King of Fighters.
Beautiful.
Uh,
See, so we have 2 deck lists not here, but I mean at this point looks pretty standard. Both those sets. First place Guardians Rewrite. Gonna assume he's playing Kotori because he has the 1-0 Shizuru PR, so going pretty all in on the Shizuru combo, I assume. So second place here,
Yeah,
Kimono Friends.
his how do you win with your deck says rare footage of Kotori doing anything. So I'd imagine he's playing Kotori level 3.
Yeah. We have second place Kimono Friends. Is this what the meta is gonna be now for Kimono? Dang, 4 Serval. Penguins, basically, like a penguin skeleton. It kind of looks like with dolphins and a bunch of yellow. That helps your level 3 game.
Yeah, it just seems like the standard like yellow, blue, re-zero with a tap counter. Like minus all the good early plays.
Yeah.
Like seems
That reminds me, I need to work on my list.
super standard yellow blue. Sad we haven't seen owls yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see it soon. Third place, Konosuba. Goddess build, I assume, because Eris level 3.
Yep.
No deck list though, so let's move on to fourth place. Another Ray Zero build. What is this? A lot of blue in this deck list. It looks like we're playing Emilia, Rem. A lot of Rem level 3s here.
This list, I don't even know what to think. Like this isn't like a Western list or a Japanese list. This is just like why
This is a guy who really likes
Wait, I'm confused. He's playing the true form of the Oni. Oh wait, that's what combos with the 2-1, right? Yeah, it does.
he's playing 3 of the new trial deck Rem.
Yeah, this guy really likes Rem. Only 4 of the early play. All right. Dang, 8 red in the deck and playing 2 of them are the Roswell level 1.
He's also playing like the spicy like Mill 2 Beatrice thing.
I love that card, but I can never really find room for it.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this list.
Well, it is 50 cards, so it is.
It
deck.
is
It
50
is a
cards.
list.
This man likes Rem.
All right, what's the next? Last
Honolulu.
place, Honolulu Toy Links. Oh, this is the one that has that really weird Vivid Strike list. How many? They got 3 spots at the Honolulu one. That's interesting. That's a weird number.
No, it's
Oh.
for the second place. If you look, the first one
Oh.
says first place, and then it says third place, and then fourth place.
Oh, okay,
They
so
just
we're missing.
didn't post second for whatever reason.
Maybe that guy left and didn't fill out his thing at the end or whatever.
I was almost about to praise his first place as being my hero for playing red blue, but he's not actually playing red as level 0.
The 4 decks, I don't know which one's missing, so I don't have it pulled up right now, but the 4 decks were Vivid Strike, Sunshine, Cinderella Girls, and Little Buster.
Oh, so Little Buster's missing.
So yeah.
All right, so this Vivid Strike build with the 2-3 change combo, or the change into the 2-3. I don't know what's going on.
That card is fun. I threw all my extra Vivid Strike stuff into a red blue, and that card is fun.
I feel like it never does enough.
So the only way it does anything is if you crash tie your opponent with a double combo at level 1 while you have a climax to play. I've gotten that to happen twice.
Don't you need to pitch a climax 2 to change?
Yes, yeah, you need 1 climax to play, 2 in hand. You have to tie your opponent while crashing, and then change into 2-2-3. If you can manage that, the deck's amazing.
Connor, how many people were at this event? Did you say?
Let me check. I think it was 19.
19? It's not bad.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this Rene deck. So we'll skip second place because it doesn't exist. I think it was it a Soul Plus 2 build? I think I saw it somewhere posted on Facebook.
I would imagine it was +2 soul.
Yeah, it's probably.
I can't think of much other reason you'd play Little Busters right now.
Yeah. So third place here, more idols. We have Mirai Ticket and Chica level 1. This looks like another super standard JP list, except we're playing Mirai Ticket instead of the gate that people usually run, or the comeback. Anything here you guys see interesting, worth noting?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I feel like you're playing that anyway if you know you're gonna play some good shit. So
I just think it's funny. That's his favorite card.
it's a good card, man. It won me a field battle once. It was great. But yeah, I like this 3-color level 1 game though.
Yeah, that's pretty spicy.
That bothers me. I don't know. The list seems Japan.
Yeah, except for like its level 1 game is a little wonky there, but I
Yeah,
guess.
and it plays what the blue climax is the pants,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I guess Japan doesn't really play that either.
No, they play gate or the
List
comeback.
seems Hawaii.
Yep.
question mark.
It's half American, half Japanese, since it's halfway there.
Yeah. You have to think though, like that must be like one of the most inbred metas, like
Oh,
the Hawaii meta.
Yeah,
Like,
it has to be. Like,
what happens there? Like you're literally just playing against the same people all the time, like no matter what.
I had a friend there who stayed there for like a year, played, and I don't think their meta's too terrible. Like it's a very inbred meta, but like not people there know. Some of the people there know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's just like even if you know what you're doing, like they can't have like that many players to where like some deck is going to be so popular probably that people start building around it. And then you just get to like this weird scenario like Japan where they were building like everything just to get around Gochi-Yusa.
well,
I mean,
no
they
one
had,
plays
like-
Gochisa.
I feel like
They kind of around.
in a place like Hawaii that's very likely to happen where some deck just takes over and then like all of your decks start looking weird to beat it.
They had roughly 20 people for the regional, right? Like I feel like their meta would be less inbred than a lot of places in the U.S.
Yeah, it's possible. They had 19. So I mean, maybe. I think the thing about like a lot of places in the US though is that you have like easily accessible regionals and other like events where you're playing people you're not used to playing. Whereas like I'd imagine the Hawaii regional is probably like 98% Hawaii players that play each other normally anyway.
Yeah.
So
I do
like,
believe
they
quite
probably
a bit of them.
never, like almost never play anyone else.
I
Unless they
know
play
quite
on
a bit,
Skype
like
or
at least 3 or 4 do Skype that I know.
Yeah. Like Skype would obviously change that.
The power of technology. Well, fourth place here. No list posted. Can't even tell like what their one of really was. You can kind of narrow it down to on what they wrote here to either Rin level 0 or Kome. And their card choice, you can't really tell what their deck is other than they play a 1-0 counter.
Like, literally every build plays the 1-0 counter.
Yeah, so we don't even know what's going on
Why?
here. I don't know if this is TP or like CG good stuff.
Who knows? Whatever.
My guess
It's
would
IMC. IMC made it through the season with more than one top.
yeah. I'd have to guess that this
Whatever.
build probably plays Rin Zero because it says here he has a lot of 1-ofs for utility, so they probably allow a bunch of 1-of blue cards that he could search out easily, maybe? I don't know. Yep, that is basically it though for all the deck lists. Congratulations everyone that's got their invite so far. Connor, you
Yep.
want to throw up some stat stuff towards me? Just look at it really quick.
Sure.
Probably should have got this beforehand.
The everything is like the meta is becoming more and more varied. Like, let me get a screenshot of it real quick. So this is our representation. The highest, like the most represented deck, is below 9% right now,
All right, let me see if I can pull this up on screen for everyone.
which is like crazy. Like below 9%. Whereas English, we're sitting on like 32%, like 30%.
I think I kind of expected that.
Even in Japan, like JP Meta has decks sitting at like 20%. So like,
So at least
really,
from my perspective from Columbus, a lot of even the competitive players, like the really competitive players, still won't buy series that they don't like. It's like even if it's like a top tier deck, they're typically just going to buy whatever series they enjoy and then try to push that series to its competitive level.
Yeah,
I think that's just what's happening in the US.
I think a lot of players that get into this game have that mentality too. They're not really looking to win every match; they're just looking to win and have fun with whatever series they have. One thing about North American representation is I don't think we have the pool of players to make this data like really really helpful compared to Japan.
yeah,
Like because
events they have what we have so far, the sample size we have so far is about the equivalent of like one regional.
Yeah, Japan regionals easily hit 200 most of the time. So, at least all the events I've been to in Japan have always had a lot of people. But like the events I've been to also were like the big ones, like Shirokuro Fest that last 2 days, and they have a 24-hour like fighting area where if you do the whole like overnight thing of playing, they give you a special like thing. So I know a lot of players do that. But
We're sitting at 237 right now. The total representation is 237 players. So that's roughly the size of 2 English regionals.
or one California regional. Except I guess this past season because they decided to.
I was going to say, like, the past season, California was like sub 100.
Well, it's not. It's their fault for having
It's
their
even
event
terrible
the same
scheduling.
day as Anime Expo. Like, who plans
Yeah.
that? It's like the biggest Anime Expo there is in all of US, I think, right? It's like number one.
Yeah, it is the biggest anime
Probably.
convention in the United States.
So I think that was a huge mistake on their part. But yeah, this new one coming up though, I assume will be close to 200 or break 200 because every regional when I was out in California always broke 200. I remember one was like 210 or something, and we were like, that's kind of small because at one point we are almost getting to 300 early on when Weiss was originally happening. But I think some of the changes too they made to their Vanguard regional stuff where it's broken down in 2 days now. Hurts some of the attendance.
That'll pull people away.
Yeah, it definitely hurts some of the attendance, but besides that, yeah.
I also had a lot of people in Columbus quit, so just because they weren't getting series they enjoyed. I think 3 years ago, our locals at one of our shops was like 20 plus people, and now like our locals borderline 10, 15.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
can tell you, my locals,
like all different.
yeah, my locals have fallen from like 15 to like 3.
That's one thing I really miss about California. All my locals were always 20 plus, and some of them would even hit 40 plus in a local, or like 40 plus whenever we had a special event. So it's tough out here in the Midwest for us.
Dude, try the Southeast.
Oh man.
God. But so worth noting, I guess. I think last week Idolmaster made it onto the pie chart, and I know Osamatsu was on there, and both of those have fallen off for Symphogear and Little Busters.
Dang,
So-
I'm pretty sure Little Busters is going to drop off pretty soon.
Probably.
There's only like 8 people in the United States that have that.
I found it interesting though that Symphogear hopped on as quickly as it did.
Well, new set comes out. Same thing in Japan. You know, whenever new set drops, the very next regional, like that's really close to it, always has a higher representation of that series, and then it kind of drops off if the set sucks.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that people are willing to jump like right in, like without testing anything. Like, I mean, they've probably tested a little bit, but like literally like the day after set release.
Yeah.
Even Japan, it normally takes like a week or two.
I like Kimono broke top 5 now, right? Was it top 5 before, or it just got there now, right?
I think it was.
It just got there.
It's going down in representation, I think.
It had high representation, but low top cut or low like placement. So it's probably just going down in representation.
So yeah, Kimono week 1 was number 5 at 5.62.
Okay.
So it's up a little bit there.
Yeah, so it is up a little bit. I guess one of the events had 3 kimonos in it. The Vermont one, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that would probably explain it.
I'm surprised Two Love Rouge is under 5% or even under 4. Honestly, I feel like that's easily a set someone would just take anyway.
I'm surprised Cinderella Girls is so far down. Like, Cinderella Girls had more invites than any series last year.
Yeah, but that was also like unbanned CG for the most part, except for like their choose list or whatever they had.
It was, but like
Everyone I know who has it doesn't even want to touch it.
At this point, I just play Cinderella's good stuff. So
Great.
I think the thing too is TP was such a brain dead deck. Like it's really hard to make mistakes when you play TP. That it's easy for people to pick up. But now that the people have to make the decision, do I pick the top end double striker or do I pick the utility cards? People are just like, screw that. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to play something else.
Kantai and Monogatari barely hanging on as well. They're nice 2.5%.
Still need to buy my Monogatari before the. I also wanted to buy Kantai. Like the price of it. I don't want to hunt down all the cards I need.
Kantai 4 win. I need Kantai 4 so I can justify going back to Kantai.
Not anytime soon. I don't think the actual game's released anything.
Dude, there's like a ton that we don't have on cards that it's in the game.
Yeah, we haven't even hit like American ships
We didn't.
yet.
Okay, when we got European fleet, that still didn't even catch us up to the game. Like at the time that European fleet came out.
Well, I think they want to like release it with like thematic experience. Actually,
Maybe.
Is Prismilia gone up in representation too?
Oh.
It was still 3rd last week, right?
Last week it was 3rd at 7.3.
Oh yeah, so it's dropped some.
still surprises that high up.
Yeah, I know. That's like interesting. I also just posted the representation versus invites. If you want to take a look at that real quick.
Oh yeah, I'll put that up on the screen in a second here.
It's Index Railgun is still suffering. Like super suffering.
I like try to participate in another regional and play it.
Man, you're just gonna make it. It's just gonna start looking even worse. Like the more people that play it.
I don't know, man. I played my index deck. I haven't touched that in like 4 or 5 months, and my opponent hit me to like 2-3 when he was still at 0, and I stayed at level 3 for like 7 turns and won the game at like 2. He wanted to kill himself. He hated that match.
Ugh. Yeah. So like, on the bar chart, I've got other as anything below 3%. I have Cinderella Girls and Little Busters pulled out of other just because they have like a relevant number of tops. But otherwise, like other is dropping in tops for sure. And it's more of just like the same decks winning events. Whereas week 1, it was a little more spread out.
He looks like Ray Zero still up there on the invite list.
Yeah, ReZero still has the most invites and the highest
I think
representation.
that Love Life, Sunshine,
Sunshine, Vivid Strike, and Konosuba are all like up there.
Sunshine's like heavily inflated though off of that one regional.
Yeah, Sunshine is that has a lot to do with that one. Konosuba and Vivid Strike though have been pretty spread out. And like there were 2 regionals, like the 6-man and the 4-man. Like they both had like Konosuba or Vivid Strike players that just didn't get invites. So those made Vivid Strike look even worse, and it still looks really good. Like, I think Vivid Strike and Konosuba are something we can expect to see.
Yeah, Sunshine even without the representation from the small events, I think it's still something you're probably seeing a decent number at the end anyway.
Yeah, I do think Sunshine will stay up there. Probably fall back a little bit, but it'll stay relatively up there. So Loveru is doing well. It doesn't have many people playing it, but it's getting invites.
Yeah, I feel like anyone that ends up playing TLR just ends up getting their invite anyway.
Yeah.
Anyone playing it probably knows what they're doing, typically.
Yeah. P3 is probably the most like average set now, I guess. Like it has like almost the same percentage of representation and invites.
Yeah, I think Persona was just a really like if you don't know what you're bringing in, you don't want to play ReZero, just play this because it does well in almost every matchup.
Yeah. Whereas like Gochi Yusa, Ilya, and Kimono are still not looking too hot.
Yeah.
Which Gochi Yusa surprises me. Like I expected I expected more people to play it.
Yeah.
To do better.
Well, I never played the Gochi Yusa deck. I just played against it a lot. I mean, is there a lot of hard decision making in that deck at all? Like some like micro decisions. Like one of the reasons I think Kantai isn't a more popular set is because it has a lot of like micro decisions that add up. Like if you make a lot of really, really small mistakes early on, it'll just build up until it gets kind of out of control. Does Gochi Yusa kind of have that? Or
Absolutely not. Gochi Yusa is like the most straightforward thing ever.
From my experience playing the deck, like I don't own it, but I've played other people's. It's very much the type of deck where like if you don't hit your advantage combo, it kind of just peters off. So you get to level 3.
Like if you're Gochi Yusa, you're just playing to Loveru.
Yeah, it's like to Loveru, but like
different utility.
It just doesn't get to it doesn't get to hit its high power, so it doesn't guarantee its plus. So that's like the only difference between two Loveru.
Yeah, you just trade a little bit of like power or a higher ceiling pop end.
I see.
And no anti-damage. And like in general, you have like I feel like your utility tools are a little better in Gochiusa as well, but like it feels very much like you're playing to Lover.
Yeah, Gochusa definitely I think has better utility overall.
Yeah.
At least your utility gives you more decisions or like more access to other stuff than TLR does. So
Yeah, which is funny because Lover is sitting on like 3 times as many invites as Gochiusa right now, and like half the representation.
yeah, well TLR punishes like a lot of people who do play decks that just like look to compress.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it's just the matchups it's hitting is probably like very helpful.
Possibly.
Well, any closing thoughts on this before we just close out the show, I guess?
I think that's about it from me.
Nothing I can really think of.
All right, then. I guess this finally ends this episode. Did we go over an hour again? I need to stop doing that. But yeah, if you guys like this content here, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to comment. Maybe ask questions. Maybe next episode we'll take some questions from what the comment section of the YouTube page. If anyone has anything they want to ask us about anything Weiss related. Otherwise, you guys got any shout outs? I'll start with you, Julian.
Shout out to the Card Academy, great local shop that I play at. They sell singles online. That's all I really got.
Also, shout out to Card Academy because Mega Pimp is awesome.
Yeah, I like Card Academy a lot too, actually. I really recommend anyone who is looking to build a whole deck from singles. Check them out if they have your whole deck is there. Just buy from them. Mega Pimp code is great, 20% off everything. Usually makes it cheaper than Japanese for the most part.
Yeah, whenever like a new set like just drops, definitely.
Yeah, they open up enough too that where they have a decent amount of foils and signs. So if you like to bling out stuff as quick as possible, I definitely recommend them. Should tell the owner to bring back that moving code so I can get 30% off some Symphogear stuff.
I'm sorry, they just finished moving.
I saw their new shop. It looks pretty good from the pictures I saw. Hopefully I get to come out there sometime soon.
I actually picked up a whole bunch of Elizabeth foils for a Elizabeth waifu deck. Sword art, just like the last day.
Nice.
I'm max rarity that deck.
Oh, I guess really quick before we leave, I want to ask you guys, what do you think of Kill a Kill for like how the meta is right now? I feel like Kill a Kill is pretty underrepresented for like a really good deck that pushes people and has anti-heal.
I enjoyed the deck a lot. I unfortunately have it mixed and not in purely Japanese, why I can't play it. But like I think it actually has decent overall matchups. Can play around some of his bad matchups and can. I think its top end is like some people don't like. A friend of mine was arguing that he didn't like the top end. I think the top end is just fine. You can have a manipulable burn for 1, 2, or 3 basically, and then you have Masashi with anti-heal, so like they're not going to be healing away. Set up for like a 2-turn kill. I think it has a decent, like it has a decently high floor. It has a way to unfuck itself pretty decently. Between come and play free fresh, camera event. Whenever you gain a marker, you can pay 1 and then check top 4 that character. So it has a way to mill through its deck pretty efficiently. And then it actually maintains a lot of hand, and I think playing the deck correctly, it's about not overusing the when you gain a marker, paying 1 top 4 ability, and trying to efficiently use your just on reverse salvage combo to have a decently balanced hand throughout the game.
I think the deck does cool things. I think it's just a little inconsistent, like to take into a tournament. As like, if one thing goes wrong, oh boy, that deck starts going downhill really fast.
I've I've never really had any issues with the deck going wrong.
Like the floor of your level 1 game is what, like vanilla 3/5s?
Okay, so like if you don't get your like marker target, if you don't get your marker targets, but I don't think I've ever had a single game where I didn't get my marker target.
I think I've seen a little too often like having access to 1 and then just not being able to get more than 1. Because
But like even in that scenario, the deck's typically fine. You just have to pay the extra stock for your +2 instead of going, or for your like I guess +1 if you're including minusing on the climax. But like because it's early play, it can actually just be like a plus in and of itself, like an actual plus, because it's a dig on top of being a climax combo plus. Your hand size is typically just fine. Sustaining through level 1 isn't that difficult. You also get like a 1/1/7/5 on the board that's 8k with your back row that like some decks have issues dealing with, especially since you run like at least 1 copy of like a 3/5 counter on top of like 2 1/5 counters, depending on how you built your deck.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I thought it was a set that I haven't been seeing enough of, considering I think its matchups against everything, because it has anti-heal, is pretty solid. So
Japan plays it a ton.
I think people just don't have it in Japanese over here.
If I had to make a nice comparison, like it is, so what our index railgun standings are right now is basically what Kill la Kill's standings look like in Japan, except like way higher representation and just as low tops.
That's true. It creeps in there occasionally, but you're right. It definitely doesn't show up as often.
Trios in Japan was like 40% Kill la Kill and like 5% like X1. Like it has terrible results in Japan, but everyone plays it anyway.
But I guess trios, like, it's also dependent on your other 2 teammates. So, because the record that you record is based off of your team's placing.
It's based off of your team, but I find it hard to believe that like Gochi Yusa is sitting at like 60%, and the Kill la Kills aren't just sitting on the Gochi Yusa teams. Like if your representation is 40% Kill la Kill, you're probably at least a large portion of those are on like competent teams. They can't all be sitting on these like Sengoku Basara teams.
Yeah.
That's your point.
All right, let's just close the show out before whatever reason I'm making it go longer than we need to. Yeah, I think next week we might have another one, depending what's going on. Otherwise, we'll just go back to the every other week. We'll probably have a show. So I guess until next time, you guys, enjoy the content, subscribe, comment below. If anyone has questions, like I said, next time we do this, we'll look at the comment section of this video and then maybe take some questions from it. If no one really posts anything, then screw you guys. All right, until next time. Later.